What's going on, YouTube? Back at you again with another video. JC Cowboys Network, you already know what it is. We're 3-1. We had to get it done. But now it's time for us to go against the Los Angeles Rams. And I think that we can handle those boys. These guys have a lot of elite players. You got guys like Aaron Donald, you got guys like Cooper Kupp, and you got guys like Jalen Ramsey. Them boys are loaded. Bobby Wagner too. But their main guys are Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald. We have to make sure we account for these players because we're not going to have guys like Jason Peters in there, but we will have Zach Martin. But this is a player that could truly wreck this game. So hopefully with Kellen Moore, he can be able to scheme and be able to get the ball out of Cooper Rush's hands, because this is a guy that will wreck this game and get the ball back in Matthew Stafford's hands, and that's exactly what we don't want. Cooper Kupp is one of the most premier football players in his league, and he's a guy that is very slippery. He has a very high IQ. He understands spacing, and he has a great understanding where the quarterback wants him to be. So you have to account for this player. Sometimes we might get into situations where we can't double cover this player. So our DBs, we got to put our big boy pants on and be ready to lock this player down. But my thing is with this player, he's going to eat, but you have to kind of limit how much this player is eating, because with Matthew Stafford, he's going to be feeding this guy the ball. He's going to feed him. If he has to throw it to him 20 times in a game, he's going to feed him. They have guys like Allen Robinson, who hasn't been making any type of noise. They got Tyler Higbee, who's making a little noise, but nothing too much. But the main guy is Cooper Kupp. So we got to make sure we account for him. They don't really have that good of a run game, but you still have to watch out for Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson. He's like a bruiser type of running back, so you got to pay attention to that. So my main thing, stopping that offense, you got to make sure that you stop that run. Once you stop that run, you can get to these guys. Welcome to the film room. The Rams are missing players on their offensive line, with the Rams giving up 7 sacks in a game against the 49ers. So there will be big opportunities to make plays and rattle this quarterback in early. So this team's going to have to focus and get right, because there's going to be big plays to be made out there, especially against that offensive line. Having guys like Jalen Ramsey on the team, I mean, he's a guy that he would try to shadow CeeDee Lamb, but if you look at the other game with Deebo Samuels was doing a lot of moving. He was in the slot, he was on the outside, he was a second, he was everywhere around the field. So that's pretty much the same thing that you have to do with CeeDee Lamb. You got to have this player all around the field. Noah Brown, mix it up. Don't try to be so basic with it. Mix it up. If you move CeeDee Lamb around, there's a very, very, very high possibility that he will be able to go off and have a good game. The way that their defense is playing, these guys are about 7 or 8 yards off the ball. They don't really run too much man-to-man coverage. They're running more like cover 3, and they're off the ball like 7 or 8 yards. So if we can have our wide receivers do quick slants, quick hitches, quick screens, we can be able to get good yak yardage and keep the chains moving. Because if you see from the 49ers game, they did the exact thing. That's one thing that we can do against this team, and also staying honest, running the ball. So we have to continue to keep doing that. The shot is there, take it. But we have to pick and choose when we can be aggressive. But I think that this team could be able to do it. So we can be able to continue to have Micah Parsons all over the field. But we have to be careful with him going in as the defensive end, because there's a lot of teams that's chipping this player now. So you don't want him to get injured. That's the only thing with Micah Parsons. A lot of teams are respecting him now, but they have to be mindful. If anything, I would like to see him blitzing between the A and B gaps, rather than going to the defensive end position way too much, because now we're at a point where they're respecting him way too much, and they're chipping him, trying to chop his legs and do all types of stuff. So you don't want this player to get injured. That's the last thing you want to happen. But if you can continue to keep scheming Micah Parsons up, we're just as dangerous as the 49ers defensive line. A lot of people are realizing that now, but I've always known that this defensive line is dangerous. So if we can do that and put in all types of blitz packages and keep this offense confused, we can be able to rattle this player and he will turn the ball over. So if we can be able to do that, we'll be good to go. This team can do it, Cowboys Nation. They can get the 4-1. Not having your starting quarterback and bringing in a backup quarterback, and this guy really taking that step, it shows everything about the quarterback. It shows everything about the coaches, the whole organization as a whole. They did not flinch. This is why we root for this team. It's been a lot going on this week, so we just had to get on here and make a quick video. We'll see how it all shakes out, and hopefully I'll see y'all at the fire pit, all right? So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe so y'all can come vibe. You already know what it is. Go!